Hello, Vladimir.
Hello, how are
Thank
you?
you so much for accepting the invitation to participate on our podcast today. I'm very happy to have you over, and I'm pretty much sure that we're going to have a very nice chat. So I would like to start with you introducing yourself first, please.
Hello, nice to meet you. I am Vladimir Timotijevic, and I am from Serbia, and I am working as a front-end developer about 4.5 years from now. So
Very
this
nice.
is this is a short story about me.
At what age did you start coding?
I start with 28 and something. Now I have 33.
Uh-huh.
So this is about.
4 years,
This is a
4
little
or
bit
5
late.
years, yes. No, yeah, talking about that, do you think that there is a specific age to start coding, or it can be done at any age as long as you have a passion and dedication
No,
for
I
it?
think you can start with coding whenever you want, because I had some colleague on the course I went. They had 40 and something years, so this is not. This
He
is,
was 14 years old?
yes, they have 14 and something years to start when they code.
Wow.
Yes, but also I have a colleague who has 20 years old. So
Yeah, the age does not define whether
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah, yeah.
capable of acquiring those skills or not, right?
Yeah, this is true.
Okay, tell me, please, what made you at the age of 28 suddenly decide that? First, I want to know what were you doing before, okay? Anything, because it is so interesting for me and so fascinating to find out how people, regardless, I don't know, you were engineer, you were a waiter, you were this, but the whole process of you changing your whole mindset and taking the step into IT world, it's not easy. It's not like as a we were raised a bit in a different generation. I mean,
it's
my
not easy.
parents never. How can I tell you? They were not interested in IT, and therefore they did not pass the passion to me as well, right?
Yes,
So
yes, understand.
I want to understand what were you doing and how suddenly you decided that, oh, this is something I want to start doing from now on and completely change my life.
All my life I trained karate for 18
look.
years. 18
Okay.
years from my 7 years, and it was a logic thing after my high school to go to the Faculty of Sport and Physical Education, and I graduate on that faculty. I also graduate at master's degree there. That was at my 24 years.
Wow,
And
okay.
after that, I start to work in that profession. I work like a karate trainer. After that, like a personal trainer in the gym.
Yes.
But after some time, I realized that this kind of job is not for me, because you need to stay very, very late to the gym. You need
Correct.
to, yes, you
Adapt
need
to every
yes,
person's
to adapt
needs
to
and
every
time.
person.
Yeah.
Some person want to train at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Some person want 10 at p.m. So you need to adapt to that times. And after 5 years of working in the gym, I realized that this
You have no freedom for yourself.
Yeah, yes,
you can't
yes.
manage your own time, right?
Yes, and also you need to work during the weekend, Sunday, Saturday,
Correct.
doesn't matter,
Correct.
every day. So I decide. So I had pretend to have some job where I can use the design or like aesthetic things,
Okay.
And I decided to try to start with web development,
Okay.
like as a front-end developer, and I started to learn on my own without any course, without any,
No way. Okay. How did you know what to start with, or how did you know which program that's available, let's say online, or let's say there is a lot of short courses available on YouTube, right? How did you know which one is the correct one?
First,
latest one.
I have few friends who work longer than me,
Okay.
and then they explain me what to learn, what to see, when I looking for something to the internet, what to find, and they helped me a lot about this.
So they were guiding you.
Yes. And then I tried to do that, and I realized that I like this. I like front-end, you know. I like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then after a few months of learning on my own, I start to go on some course.
Okay.
It was about 7 months.
It took 7 months.
It
Tell
took
me
7
more
months.
about
It's
it. I'm
short.
very
It's very
interested.
short course. You cannot learn many things for 7 months, but you need to learn in the same time at your home on your own, you know, to improve your skills. And after, when I graduated that course, I continued to learning on my own few months, and after 1 and maybe half year, I get my first
So it
job.
was a long way for you to reach where you are in terms of gathering the bits by bit information around.
Yes, this is compared with the people who graduate on the faculty, who finish the faculty like a 4 or 5 years. That 1.5 years is very short.
Correct.
Period. So this is not a big period, you know. And then after that time, I get my first job. And
tell me, please, for example, the course that you've been taking before in that IT institute that you've been enrolled in. Can you please tell me, can you name for me, like, let's say, the advantages of it, or let's say the advantages of their way of teaching, let's say
yes.
What was the style, the learning style, and what was your main challenges, let's say, with that?
Yes, that was, there was many things to learn, but only to learn basic things. You cannot go very deep inside each technology because you don't have a time, you know. You need to learn many, because on front-end developer you have many technologies that you need to learn to have some, you know, complete knowledge
Correct.
about this, you know. So the course is only to find out what you need to learn on your own. I mean, you can learn.
Yeah.
You can learn
what if you
something.
had questions and you couldn't?
What?
What if you had some while you were doing, let's say, while you were doing the self-learning, right? What if you came up with something, with some problem that you looked for a solution you couldn't find, and you know you are struggling to overcome it? Like, what was your way of figuring it out?
You mean when I studied that course, or generally?
In general, when you started practicing while studying at that course, was there a moment, for example, when you felt like there is a challenge, or like while you were coding and you don't know how to solve it, or you don't know how to overcome it, but at the meantime, you know?
You find out, yes. Internet helps you a lot about this, you know. You need to find that solution on the Google or
Which is, again, time-consuming thing, because you have to look for the right thing that is matches
you
your
need to
problem
find the right
exactly.
thing. Yeah, you need to find the right
Yeah.
thing, but also on that course, you can ask your professor to give you that solution, you know. But
was the professors programmers as well, or they were more into the theoretical approach and they were more the teachers, let's say?
He was like a professor, and also he worked in some company like.
Did you feel confident gaining the knowledge from?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, everything was good, everything was perfect, professor was good, program is good, but in the short time, this is very short time, 7 months. 7
Okay.
months to learn many things, you know. It needs to be a little more time, so. But,
all right. But how intensive were the courses? Were they every day?
4 days a week. 4 days a week
hours.
per 3 hour. Per 3
hours.
And
Interesting.
between that, you need to learn on all
Did
the
you
things.
start writing a codes from the first class?
Yes, because it's much better when you start to code on
Correct,
your own
right?
than when you just look somebody else who code, and you cannot you know, remember all this if you don't code. So this is the very important.
That's very interesting. Thank you so much for a very, how can I tell you, detailed answer, because you know, it's always good to know what is happening in other establishments.
The programming and the generally development is a very fast industry, and if you stop to learn for just few months, you are deprecated. So you need to always learn new technology, new version
Like
of
you'll
that
be off
technology.
the market if you have
Yes,
like a
yes.
certain gap and you haven't practiced and you didn't write a
Yes,
line of
if
code.
you graduate on some faculty, technical faculty, and if you stop to learn for next 1 year, you are deprecated and you cannot find a job.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
always learn new things. So this is the.
Tell me, please, what was the main challenge that you have faced when you were looking for a job already as a developer?
What is the main challenge when I speak with the HR or something like that?
Yes, you feel it's hard for you to sell yourself. By selling, I mean selling your skills. Let's admit, we all go to work in order to receive a compensation for the certain number of hours that we dedicate to the establishment, correct? So was it hard for you to sell your skills?
Yes, it's not problem when you talk with somebody in this technology. Yes, this is not problem, but you are competing with other candidates who has more experience than you.
The thought of having a thought that maybe the next candidate would have more competitive advantages than me was like basically
yes, if I am applying for on some position,
yes,
I have 0 experience, but other 10% has 3 years of experience, and I am competing with that person.
I will actually like admit that as well, in a sense that I remember I had this point in my life when I was unemployed. It was after Corona. I think everyone after Corona was unemployed, And so I remember there was like I always considered myself as a, how can I tell you, like a well-designed person in the sense that I always make sure that I have I always make sure that I'm a right fit.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
All of us things like
correct.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always thought that I speak multiple languages. I know this. I know that. I have the experience here, there. And I think when I face the harsh reality of unemployment, when you look for a job, God damn it, on LinkedIn, I remember I used to apply for a position, and then after, I'll go have a coffee, come back, and I look like 3,935 applicants applied, and the job has been posted 7 hours ago, and you just look at yourself hoping that, will they even find me among this 3,000 whatever people?
Yes, it's same thing happens to me when I applied to some job. It was 100 applying other people for the same position.
That really plays with your mind, doesn't it? Like, even though you'll be so confident that I'm the best fit, look, the job description and my CVs, they were made for each other,
Very good fit.
Yes, and then you actually go apply and you're like, I'm not unique, there is 4,000 more people within 7 hours with the same.
You never know what these people in front of you, this person in front of you want from you. Maybe you're good fit by technical part, but maybe you are not good fit by personal part,
Yes, exactly. Maybe your communication skills are lacking.
Yes.
I think this is one of the main challenges that a lot of developers are using, because your job, guys, are mainly you have to develop inside the computer. It takes very limited communication around, unless you have to work in a team aligned together, rather than marketing job, let's say, or rather than a sales job when you have to constantly communicate.
I know for this, many developers struggling about the communication, but I had lucky to work as a personal trainer, and I had a lot of different clients from different ages, you know. And I had to learn how to speak with all that clients, with girls, with women, with boys, with...
So you would find approach, you'll tailor your way up to everyone.
The communication wasn't problem for me, because I had chance to learn with with my previous job.
Yeah, the previous
Yes,
job
that.
gave you a different set of skills that you
Yes,
can apply
yes.
here, and
Yes,
that's
yes,
very
that's
interesting.
true.
Tell me, please, how hard it was for you to write your CV? Because I find that part very challenging, regardless how educated, how skilled you are. I think the moment when someone asks you to write or to speak about yourself, like we start like, you know, like I'm not gonna say like panicking a bit, but we all face this moment when like it's a dead, like what do I write? How do I put it together? How do I make it appealing? So
Yes, it was a very hard thing because you know, when I give my best to write my CV the best as it possible, you know, but when you don't get some jobs,
yes,
you're yes,
yeah,
you're
breaks the
thinking
spirit.
about what is not good in my CV.
You start
Let's change it.
directly
Yes.
blaming the CV,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, let's change everything in
Maybe
that
I
CV.
should do a professional photo session and put a normal photo, and then they will do. No, it's not.
And one time I stopped to put my age in the CV because maybe some HR will see my age and I will be too old for
Oh
him.
my God.
You know.
I mean, I don't blame you. When you look around, the developers nowadays, what they're 12, 14, 16, and they already have 6 years of experience. Like,
Yeah.
did you never went to kinder?
I'm oldest.
how?
I'm oldest in
You're the
my
oldest?
yes. I'm oldest in my team because my colleague has 20 years, 19 years, 21 years. I'm oldest guy in the team.
But you guys make it work. That's really awesome. Tell me one thing. Did you ever cheat on your CV? Come on,
Just a
bit.
little.
little bit.
Just a
Maybe you know, thinking that they will never
Yeah.
check. Let me add it.
But just a little, but I think compared with other people, this is too little.
But did it pass? Did it work?
I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes
Sometimes.
no.
Well, with the current job you have, did you use that?
I had only two jobs in that profession. My previous job and my current job. I didn't have many jobs, you know. Because when I start to work in some company, I don't like to change
shift the
company
places.
after a few months. You know?
Oh, this is amazing. To be honest, I find this personal threat very, very, very nice because, you know, you can't really understand the business. You can't really grow within the company if you don't stick to it. Within
Yeah.
2 years, not a lot can change, but at the same time, a lot can, right? But what is the point of, like, in this case, you don't see the place that you're going to enter, that you're going to work at as a, how can I tell you, as a, you don't take this place as a second home. You
Yes,
don't
yeah.
take these people as a family. You take them as a temporary stopover until I move forward.
Yes,
And
yeah.
I think that in many cases, employer feels that as well. As an employer, I can admit on that. You always know, you know, you can have two employees. One will be extremely smart, skilled, like active, ready to take anything. But let's say he's lacking the experience. He's lacking some things, you know, but he has this thing that I want to make it, you know, I want.
Yeah.
And then you will have a guy who has like 10 out of 10 skills, like it's a dream employee, but he's not passive. He's like, whether he's there or not doesn't really change the weather in the room, you know?
Yes, yes, yes.
And as an employer, like you see, like you always want to encourage, you always want to support the person that has its heartbeat for the company that they entered. So I think your employer also appreciates the fact that you join them and you are willing to stay for a long term.
Yes,
and
yes. You need to pass
see
some
where
time.
it
Yes.
evolves.
You need to
Yes.
be some longer time in that company to pass all that process.
Correct.
Yes, to learn, you know.
I mean, just the process of adaptation for sometimes
Yes.
it takes over a year, you know.
Yes.
Because nowadays, with all this technology evolving around us, with all the opportunities that we come across, like the whole culture, workplace culture is extremely diverse.
Yes.
So I believe it takes time to adapt not only to the workplace, but to your colleague. And only after you past the stage of adaptation, you
Yes.
can really say whether this place is for you or not. A lot of people, they back off before they reach that stage, you know? And that's a very big mistake.
Even if it's technology, you work on the same, on both company, the process are different in all the company. You know, the process
Yes.
of working is different. So you need to pass all that process to learn about it.
Have you ever had the thought that, for example, oh, I know the front end, like I've been doing it for 4 years, like let me learn, let's say, I don't know, back end, for example, or like let me become a full stack developer. Have you ever had a thought of, let's say, acquiring an additional skill, maybe to upgrade your qualification?
Yes.
And like
Yes, I already start to learn about the backend, but just basically maybe 1.5 years ago. But I didn't work professionally in some company as a backend developer. But I know the basics things about backend, and this helps me on the front end side how to understand what happened
these
on
guys
the other
need.
side.
Yes.
But I didn't work. I just work on my personal demo project to improve my skills.
Yes.
But I could start to work with this, but I need a little bit time, maybe a few months to you know to start to work very
listening to you, by listening to your story, the way you have been developing yourself, and the time that it took you to become a front-end developer, like based on what you said, if you put all together, it took you around 1.5, 2 years basically to master it, right?
Yeah.
And it makes me think of how many things, for example, I'm going to use a TeachMeCode here because for me, TeachMeCode is the first project in an IT industry that I actually like not made myself familiar with, but like I absorbed the information about it, you know? And, you know, when you, maybe before, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Why are we doing certain things in a certain way? Because I don't have an IT background, right? But now when I meet developers with the help of this podcast, the more you guys open up and the more you speak, I start understanding that we took so many wise decisions when we decided to open TeachMeCode. Because, for example, you're telling me that you've been assigned to the course, and let's say at the timings when you were having problems with doing your, let's call it a homework, right?
Okay.
Yes, like if you were facing challenges, you will have to spend time, look for the answers on internet. And let's admit, not every solution or every answer that the Google gives out to you is necessarily the right answer.
Yes, you need to research.
Correct, right? And moreover, on top of that, look, for example, the solution for us in this case, we have our own student portal, correct? And on that student portal, we have a playground where students, they start practicing, right? They're writing their lines of code there. And we have integrated AI solution there that is, while you're doing your homework, it basically follows every single line of code that you're writing. And when it sees that you've stopped somewhere and let's say you're unable to continue, let's say you can't debug it, or like there is an issue, it starts offering you a help, like, hey, you've been stuck here for, let's say, over 40 seconds, do you need the help? So the AI comes to assist you here. Other than that, we have implemented practice of assigning instructors who are the real-life developers to be a mentor for the student. So every student have basically access directly to their instructors, and where they can ask the questions and basically get the immediate response, or maybe even have a short Zoom meeting in order to solve it. Like, we make sure that the instructors are there throughout the course all the time.
This is very important.
Exactly, but because, why I'm bringing this up, because can you imagine how much time it can save? So instead of spending 1.5 years, maybe within the 3 months, you can get the same knowledge by having all the right resources under your hands, correct? Then you're saying that it was challenging for me, for example, to come up with my CV and then to apply because I wasn't sure if it's the right fit, how they will evaluate it, and what other people have. Maybe I don't have those skills, right?
Yeah.
Let's admit that it takes a lot from our mental health, all this overthinking, right? And sometimes we gaslight ourselves on our own by underestimating our own skills, right? Look, we found a solution for that as
Yes,
well.
it's very helpful to have somebody
Yes.
who will be with you all the time.
Who will
and
be guiding
yes,
you? Okay,
yeah.
you learn the skills. What do you do next? But
Yes.
tell me, how do I apply? How do I sell myself? It's the first
Yes,
time
this
I'm
is very
doing
helpful.
it.
Yes, this is
Yes.
very time wasting when you need to research all the thing. You need to waste, I don't know, days and days for researching of
Yeah.
some problem. You know,
Correct.
if you have somebody to help you in that moment, this is very
Well, imagine for all our students at TeachMeCode, we're designing for them a portfolio. So upon completing the course, other than the certificate you get from us, other than the knowledge, which is more important than a certificate, because I don't want to brag that, yes, we have accreditation, we're fully accredited and etc. But you're here for the skills, right, at the end of the day. So besides that, we also help them to design a portfolio for them. So it's easier for them, for example, to present and to sell their skills to the potential employer or a potential client if you want to be a freelancer, right? Like, hearing you makes me feel so happy that all these points have been thought through and actually exist under one roof, that maybe tomorrow someone who would be like, let's say at the age of 28, decided that I don't want to do this, now I want to be a developer, they will not have to spend 2 years practicing, learning, finding, because if they go to the right place that offers all this,
he can learn this.
Exactly. Within 3-4 months, you're done.
Yes.
You walk out as a professional with the right set of skills ready for the market. Well,
yes, this is
yes.
true. This is very helpful.
It's very good to acknowledge the fact that it's like, everything has been thought through.
Yes. It's very
Please
important.
tell me, what would be the message you will send to our students, for anyone, regardless of their age, whether it's kids, maybe it would be someone who has been, I don't know, building the bridges for the city, and then one day he was like, now I want to be a graphic designer and give a freedom to the artist inside of me. So what would be the advice?
Yeah, my advice would be that when I start to do this, don't stop to learn, don't stop to learn all the time to learn new things.
Don't think that you are ready, that you reach the limit in terms of knowledge.
You cannot reach the limit, because when you learn something, you find out that there is many things you don't know. So if you know much, you realize that you don't know many things,
Yes, you're right. It's like there is I think all of us know, Lenin used to say that it was in Russian, учиться. Yeah, you have to constantly learn, learn. Like you can never stop. The older you get, the more you have to learn. Because you see how life is unpredictable. You are preparing yourself half of your life, let's say, for one direction, and then you find yourself in a completely different place.
Yeah, was very hard to me,
Well, I'm very happy for your career
change,
and I really wish you all the best. And listen, you are not old. I've seen older people, okay? Thank you so much for visiting us today. It's really, I find it very... how can I tell it? I find it very interesting, because everyone used to tell me that, developers are very introverted people. Good luck asking them questions. I will tell you, this is the 6th guest developer for me today, and you guys, if you find the right approach, you're pretty much talkative.
Thank you very much.
I want to give you a small compliment from TeachMeCode. This is basically the boxes that we have designed for our students, and we give to anyone who enrolls. Again, as you can see around us, they don't really need to bring any laptop, nothing. It's a fully equipped school, right? Yes. But just to have a small memory things for them, we have put like small gadgets inside. So please, this is for you. And thank you so much for your time. And I'm expecting to have more episodes with you, because I'm sure there is a lot I have to learn.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye.